Welcome back to another video review. I have a very simple item in today. It's a Godox Softbox, and this was sent in via FastTech for review. This particular model is the SB2030, and it's the largest out of 3 that Godox make. So the idea with this is it's a portable softbox, not as big as the stand-mounted ones, but it should still prove to be quite a useful device. So the construction on this is all fabric. That includes the front and back. And around the edges you'll see here in the corner you have a metal frame inside. This is flexible, so it bends back to its position. It doesn't hold its position, so that's a good thing, because obviously if it did it would over time break and snap. So that seems to be quite a good design. Now when you open it up you'll see that you have Velcro patches all around the sides. So the idea is that you put this strap, which has a silicone coating on it and grips to the flash around that, and it holds it in place. The other way of doing that would be to reverse that and have the silicone on the inside and a strap on the outside. This seems to work okay from what I've been using it on. Now opening up here you can see a closer look at the Velcro patches, and the stitching seems okay on this. There's a few errors, but it seems to be held together reasonably well, and there's your patches top and bottom. So when you attach this, the idea is going to be it's going to hold in securely, and you can also open the flaps up top and bottom. So the idea with this is going to be reduce the amount of light going onto the subject, and we'll do a little test on this later on. I've done a few shots. You can also store them up, so it helps to keep them open. Just put them onto the Velcro areas and it will hold them in place. So interesting design, it's worth doing that. The back does look glossy. I thought it was plastic initially, but it isn't. It's more of a satin fabric material. It just has a bit of sheen off of it, which is a good thing because plastic could eventually sort of degrade. Now when you open it up you'll notice that there's an additional patch in the middle. That's right where the flash goes. I mean, you could use this with an LED light. I am shining a light on it now, but the idea with this is going to be again to help reduce that hot spot that you'll get with a light or flash in the middle. So it should help to spread it out, and it's pretty much the size of a flash gun. So once you've put the strap around the flash, you want to make sure that's fairly tight. Also worth mentioning that to try and keep it towards the end rather than push the flash directly in as much as possible, because that will also help to spread the light out the further it is away from the front of the material. So that's something to bear in mind when you're fitting this. You can push it in a bit more if you want, but try not to put it in too close. Now it does hold in place pretty securely once you have that strap on, but make sure that the strap is tight enough. It does tend to angle down a little bit when you first get this. When I first got it outside of the packaging. And then we'll fire a few test shots now just to show you. Now just a couple of other devices that I have. This one is a bounce card. It's really for bouncing the flash, as it says, and it's 2 layers on it. There's a silver which reflects more light. Slightly different type of item that's more for bouncing the flash and pushing more light forward. I also got one of these inflatable ones off of eBay a while back. Now this is super cheap, but it's also quite transparent, which means at the front it's not diffusing the light as much, and it's not nearly as big as the Godox Softbox. So I will be doing some shots in a second to show you the differences. Personally, I don't think that the inflatable one is that good, but we'll be able to see that in a second. Another type of diffuser that you commonly get is the snap-on plastic one, or the stove end style as some people call it. This is a lot smaller, so it doesn't spread the light out, but it does help diffuse the light a bit. You often get this with flashes, or you can buy them as accessories. So we're going to do a little setup now for some indoor shots, just to give you an idea of the difference that the softbox will make compared to, firstly, the direct flash shot. And as you can see, we have a fixed exposure on this, and it's quite harsh light. You'll be able to see the shadows at the side of the camera there, quite hard light. Now with the Godox Softbox, still on camera flash, much softer shadows. And you also see the exposure's dropped because I fixed it. And this shows you how much light you're losing when you're using a diffuser. The plastic snap-on or clip-on diffuser does help a bit, but the one with the inflatable diffuser was pretty disappointing actually. It didn't really do that much compared to the direct flash shot. So the snap-on diffuser is definitely better. So again, I'm moving the flash position now to the left just to give you an idea. More shadows, again harsh light with the direct flash, and with the Godox rear panel shut you can see a much softer light, particularly in the shadow areas. Now when I open the panels, you'll see the light level drop slightly. It's quite a subtle difference, but it does make a difference to the actual final image. And outside I've done a couple of shots. I'm quite close with the flash, and again you'll see the harder shadows and the light is a bit more concentrated in the middle with a direct flash, and that's typical of a direct flash shot. So once I put the Godox on, you'll see it spread out more and softer shadows. I do have a macro ring light coming in, so I'll be able to show you that once that comes in, the difference between the type of flashes that you can use and the effects they have on images. But this is a useful device. They often don't get much attention with the reviews. This is something which is very cost effective and can make quite a difference to your photography. So I definitely think it's worth getting. It's one of the better diffusers that I've used myself.